You're not either of the Bens.
Thank you so much for noticing. I am not, but I do have a few opinions.
She doesn't even go here.
Go on then. What do you want to talk about?
Let's start with, where on earth is Roger Cook? Because I reckon that's what Health Minister Amber Jade Sanderson has been asking herself for a few days now. That's because he hasn't been seen since the horrifying story broke earlier this week of a 13-year-old girl who was raped while in Perth Children's Hospital in January last year. Not only was the victim in hospital because of a previous sexual assault, but staff were so scared of the rapist, who was also 13 at the time, that they were hiding in an office when the assault took place.
God, it's just shocking, isn't it?
Why would nurses who thought they were in danger leave vulnerable children to fend for themselves? Why not call security?
Valid questions.
Inexplicable was the word the health minister used.
When we hand our children over to the Children's Hospital, we expect them to be safe. That is a reasonable expectation.
We don't know how Premier Roger Cook would describe this cluster because he has gone to ground faster than a soccer player looking for a free kick. Cook was the health minister for 4 years before Amber Jade Sanderson, an opposition health spokesman for a decade before that. Sanderson had only been in the gig for a month when this happened, but so far he's been pretty happy to send her out to face the music.
Shame.
Feels like we've seen this before.
Cook could be cribbing from Mark McGowan's playbook. The former Premier did a great Invisible Man impression during the last big health crisis. That was the death of Aishwarya Aswath in 2021. Cook was the political face of that tragedy. And clearly he's not keen to repeat the experience. It's also got all the hallmarks of Jeff Good News Gallup, who could distance himself from a bad story faster than Batman from a bad guy. Someone needs to tell Cook that being a Premier isn't just about meeting celebs, overseas trips, and working on your dribbling. You have to actually turn up when the shit hits the fan.
He's not the only Polly who's having a shocker this week.
Just look at the US. Kevin McCarthy was, at least until this week, the Speaker of the US House of Reps. He's now the first Speaker in history to get ousted. The Republican cooperated with Democrats to stop a government shutdown and got knifed by both for his troubles. An even stranger story, though, involves a guy called John Fetterman. You might have heard of him. He's the guy who dresses like an overgrown toddler.
Oh, harsh.
But fair. Until now, the Senate's only had an unofficial business attire dress code. But thanks to this Democratic senator/giant, the Senate has decided it needs an official one, just to force Fetterman to wear a suit. The poor man's over 2 metres tall. He's going to have to go custom.
Well, do we really care what our politicians wear? Don't we just want them to do a good job?
Look, John Carey could wear a mankini to Parliament if it meant he would fix Perth's housing crisis, so far as I'm concerned.
Very nice.
But pollies have been using fashion to sell themselves since the first Roman senator had to decide whether it felt like a tunic or a toga kind of a day. Whether you're talking about Julie Bishop's red heels,
Dressed to impress, of course.
Anthony Albanese's personalised Rio Tinto shirt,
Sorry.
or Bob Catter's Akubra.
Let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time on it because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
We've had this debate in Australia many times. Just last year, Greens MP Max Chandler-Mather got slammed by the Nationals' Pat Conahan for his state of undress.
Mr Speaker, I draw your attention to the state of undress of the member.
Resume your seat. Resume your seat.
He wasn't naked, but he was wearing a suit without a tie.
What kind of barbecues is he going to?
Nobody show this guy a photo of the leaders of the G7 from last year. They can't all be on their way to pick up a snag in a bun. Dress standards change over time. Suits were once considered casual wear. Tech bros made hoodies in the boardroom a thing. And COVID taught us all how good it feels to wear an elasticized waist to work.
Those are my maternity pants.
No, these are my Thanksgiving pants.
But if pollies want to dress like they're about to have a tanty because it's bedtime, they might find that voters don't take them all that seriously. The same goes for politicians who opt to wear an invisibility cloak to work.
You can't hide.
I'm Kate Emery.
For more Up Late, click the subscribe button below.